Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, we will be playing the T22 medium. Now, is this tank now a heavy? Is it a heavy tank? Because things that have been improved does give it more of a heavy tank vibe. It's got the armor. The turret armor 230 millimeters, and on your hull is 110. Your DPM 3161. Now we are running this with calibrated shells. That is a 5.89 seconds reload. Penetration on your AP 252, 330 on your heat, and 55 on your HE. You have a 310 alpha, 260 on your heat, and 420 on the HE. 3.4 aim time with a gun dispersion at 0.277 with 6 degrees of gun depression and a top speed of 56 kilometers per hour. Now, when the T22 was first released in the game, as we know, it was in the Christmas time, and for you to be able to get the tank, you had to spend, unless you was extremely lucky, you had to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds, literally like £500 to be able to get the tank. You'd be surprised at how many people actually still got the tank, how many people back then would spend that money on the tank. I know a few people to spend £500 on this tank. Now, it was a successful tank. People really enjoyed the tank. And again, for many years, people would say that this tank is overpowered. And Wargaming always knew it was overpowered because they'd never sell it. They would literally never, ever sell this tank. After that Christmas event or whatever it is they would never sell this tank. And if they did sell it after many months or a year or whatever it was, they would only sell it in crates. Over time, of course, I think the first time Wargaming released this tank for sale for gold was Boxing Day. Yeah, like literally Christmas. I think it was like Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Just 48 hours that you could get the tank for 20k gold. So yeah, that was like a real good bargain. Like you'd be like, oh my god, you can get the T22 for just 20k gold. That is absolutely insane. But to do that, you obviously had to log in on Christmas Day or Boxing Day to be able to get it. And of course, not many people do play over Christmas. Yeah, we get those young people and single people, of course, that might play over Christmas, but the majority of people wouldn't be playing Blitz on Christmas Day. So I like what Wargaming did, because obviously they didn't want so many people to own the T22, because it was insane. It's always been like a really fantastic tank. So they didn't really want everybody buying the tank, because it would just break tier 10. Over the last sort of few years, not many people do kind of speak about the T22 now, and if they do, they don't usually class it as an OP tank. Played correctly, it is still a fantastic tank. You can get bounces. I mean, here, these two games that I don't play it fantastic, but hopefully it goes to show that it isn't impenetrable, you know, it isn't immortal. You can get penetrated quite easily if you give them the chance to. But you make it difficult, you know, you move around, you wiggle about, and that is where this tank does really become fantastic, because it's just troll. You know, as soon as you start wiggling, that is where the armor does become very strong and troll, and that is what you've got to do. Just like we've done there, we wasn't really trying, we were sort of side scraping, we were reversing, we were going back, and of course eventually we do die. But yeah, if you make it difficult for the enemy team, you know, move around, then yeah, that is where this tank does become fantastic. You sit still, you don't move, you give the enemy a chance, then yes, of course, they will penetrate you. And again, just like the IS-7, it does have a pike nose, so you do have to be careful, especially when you are angling. If you can reverse side scrape, then yeah, that is absolutely amazing. The armor profile becomes insane if you can reverse side scrape. So obviously over the last couple of updates, Wargaming, or the last update, should I say, Wargaming did change, they did rebalance the T22. So there's a couple of things that they did to nerf it, and there's a couple of things that they did to buff it. So the reload is almost, what, 0.19 seconds. So it's shorter that, longer. So 0.19 second, that's not even a quarter of a second. So that hasn't really touched it, to be fair. So you can kind of just cross that out because that doesn't make a massive difference. And instead, you get improved speed, you're getting improved engine power, and not only that, the reason I say is it more of a heavy, because you're getting improved upper plate armor and spaced armor on the side. So you're getting improved upper armor at the front, on the top, and your spaced armor on your sides, the side of your hull, that becomes improved as well. So yeah, the best thing to do, like, again, if you wiggle about, and if people are using their premium rounds, such as HE or Heat, if you give them your sides, because it does have spaced armor, then you'll bounce that. You will bounce pretty much any heat that comes into your side because of your spaced armor. So yeah, that's just a tip for you guys. If you know something like, I mean, it doesn't have it, but like a T49, for example, it has heat and it has HE. If you're in a tank like the T22, of course I know it's a tier 8, but I'm just using it as an example. If you come up against, say, a T49 in a T22, the best thing for you to really do is show your side. Don't show your front plate, show your side, because that's all they're going to be able to see. So they're going to shoot your side, whether it'll be, even if it's, say, heat, then they're only going to do nothing. It's just going to bounce and do nothing. Of course, if they do use HE, they'll only splash you. They won't do the top damage. They'll only splash you, but they'll still do some damage. So yeah, that's just a little tip for you guys. If you do come up against a tank that only has heat and only has HE, use your spaced armor, because that will really help you. Again, the lower plate of your tank, it hasn't received any buffs. It is quite weak, so you do have to be careful with your lower plate. And again, that pike nose, if you start to angle, your pike nose will become weak. Just like this E4 now, he'll be able to shoot my right side pike nose, depending on how I'm angling, because I am angled, and that does then become weak. Where in that kind of situation, you're best off just staring straight at them. Try to hide your lower plate and just stare straight at them, because the pike nose at the front does become a lot thicker, a lot difficult to penetrate. Or, of course, as I've said before, is wiggle, and just make it difficult for them guys to penetrate you. So overall, I do think it is a really good change. I could have done this battle a little bit different, and I think, you know what, I could have won this game just with a few different changes. It doesn't help that my guy on my team hasn't done anything. I don't know what he's doing, but you know, that's no excuses. I could have run around the map, I could have recapped some bases, and I could have actually come up with the victory here. But yeah, too little too late, and it is game over. But overall, the T22 is still a fantastic tank. Of course, it isn't the same tank as it used to be when it was first released, but again, like a lot of tanks, people learn how to deal with these tanks. They have learned how to deal with them. They do become a lot weaker, not stat-wise, but they become a lot weaker because people become stronger, and they learn how to deal with these tanks. But even to this date, it is still a fantastic tank, and I think nowadays, because of the changes, it is more of a heavy tank. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.